Well, with the new year in full swing, weight loss has once again taken center stage in fitness gyms across the country. But what if weight loss wasn't your primary goal? With us today to go over exercises that keep us moving pain-free, our fitness expert, Wes Cole. Once again, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
You know, I tell people all the time that, especially with clients over the age of 50, mobility is really one of my biggest issues, because the fact is, if you're too tight to be able to touch your toes or move around, you're really not going to be able to do a lot of exercise that you're really going to get the maximum benefit out of. These exercises, these mobility exercises right here, what I do with a lot of my clients, and they make a big difference.
Want to start out with the hurdle drill? What is that?
This drill actually originated by track athletes, and basically it looks very simple. You can adjust the height. You can do this in a gym, in a power rack, with a bar. You can actually do this at home with a broomstick. But all Beth is doing is she's just shooting her knees up, getting a little bit of hip flexion right there, and you can also go backwards. You can go sideways. This right here will really loosen up your hips before you hop on that treadmill or that elliptical. Doing a few minutes of this, going back and forward, going sideways, will really do a lot to really work those hip flexors. And like I said, this is up pretty low, but you can adjust this to where you're going pretty high. I have some athletes that, they got that bar pretty high, and they can really get that leg over there. Simple drill, but I guarantee you do it a couple weeks, you'll feel a difference.
But the athletes are jumping over it too.
Absolutely. There's a lot of advanced drills, but starting slow, and you'll be real surprised just by how flexible your hips will get.
All right, what is the scapular wall slide?
This is actually a great drill, especially for people that they're hunched over and they're on the computer all day.
Okay.
Our shoulders tend to want to kind of draw forward a little bit. Beth, come right over here on the wall, and all you're doing is basically pressing your forearms against the wall, and you're really trying to push back. You're trying to pinch those shoulder blades together. Like I said, this is a very simple exercise. Right here on TV, it doesn't do it justice. You might want to try this in your living room. But if you do this every day, after about 30 minutes being on the computer, it'll really do a lot to draw those shoulders back, and it'll really help that posture. We all do this. We all sit in front of the computer a lot, and we all tend to really start hunching over, and this really, really helps. Thank you, Beth.
I worked with a trainer who was constantly like, no, your shoulders are still forward. I didn't even notice I was doing it, because when you sit that long.
But when you work the muscles in the middle of the back, they hypertrophy a little bit, and they'll shorten, and they'll draw those shoulders back. But you got to work them. You got to stretch it out.
Yeah. All right. Side lying windmills.
Okay. Well, Beth, come on over here. Now, you can use like a little pad, a pillow. I got a little foam roller right here, but this is a great exercise, especially for those that have shoulder injuries. A lot of people are really worried about working their shoulder because they've had such severe injuries to it, but this is one of the best exercises for shoulder mobility. It's very safe. Now, Beth is actually touching her fingertips to the floor the entire range of motion. This might be very hard at first, but really work on it. Try it, and I guarantee you'll be so surprised. Make sure you get both sides. We're only demonstrating one side today, but this right here does a lot. Maybe get 15 or 20 total rotations a day, and you can do all these exercises every day. It won't hurt you. Thank you, Beth.
I hope we clean the floor before she did that. All right, we have a viewer question now from Greg. He's asking you, is it okay to do crunches first thing in the morning?
No, it's really not. Dr. Stuart McGill, he's one of the world's leading back specialists in Canada. When we lay on a bed and we've been on there for 8 or so hours, there's no vertical presses on the disc, and our fluid tends to change in our spine overnight. The discs tend to get a little bit more hydrated, and he has a tremendous amount of research showing that a lot of back extension and flexion first thing when you get up in the morning can actually be, basically your back is very susceptible to injury in the morning.
Okay.
What he recommends, what a lot of experts recommend, is get up after 20 minutes, get vertical a little bit, maybe take a shower, and after 20 or 30 minutes, let the fluid changes in your spine kind of go back to normal. But hopping right out of bed and going and doing crunches, there's actually a lot of research proving that could really hurt you.
All right, if you have a question you'd like to ask Wes, go to the Weekend Morning section of KJRH.com. He's also at this phone number, 918-749-0960, or visit his gym on 46 just east of Sheridan.